Debt. This is a very personal video to me. Debt has a way of making you feel like you're constantly behind in life. Take it from somebody who has been in debt in multiple six figures in US dollars. It makes you feel like no matter how hard you work, you're feeding a machine that never stops taking from you. Let's not talk about the financial shame that comes with debt. Let's not talk about the collection calls. Let's not talk about the ones that, if it's probably family and friends that you're owing, that the relationships are completely damaged today because you can pay back. Let's not talk about the different threat from credit bureau. Let's not talk about the sleepless nights, the moments that you can't sleep at night. Let's not talk about the times that you have to take up multiple jobs, all forms of side hustle, just to be able to get by, and yet it looks as if this hit is not reducing. Let's not talk about the insults. Let's not talk about the multiple insufficient funds in your account. Let's not talk about the times you probably went to the grocery stores and you tried using your card and you discovered that it has been blocked because you haven't paid off your debts. Let's not talk about the time that your car was taken back or your house went through a foreclosure because you couldn't meet up with the mortgage. I know how powerful debt can be. The power that it brings, the shame, the sleepless nights, I understand. It makes you feel like you're constantly behind in life. That no matter how hard you work, it's like you're pouring water into a basket. And then somebody tells you, do a side hustle, get a second job, or stop buying coffee, or stop spending money, or move down to a basement. And while you have these loans of about going to $30,000 in student loan and then $100,000 in mortgage and $200,000, and no matter what you do, it's like you're pouring water into a basket and it's barely doing anything. In today's video, I'm going to show you how you can be able to come out of it. Not just how to be able to pay off debt, but how you can do it strategically, spiritually, without making your life miserable in the process. Because freedom from debt, you feel like freedom and not feel like punishment. Let's talk really about debt. Let's get honest about the full picture of debt. I don't know what has happened. Many things can cause you to fall into that. Now, the first thing I want you to do is to be honest with yourself. The way forward is to be honest with where you are right now. I don't care how much it is. I don't care how bad it is. I don't care if they're already knocking on your door. I don't care if they're already collections are flying left, right, and center. I don't care what the situation is. But I need you to be honest with where you are right now. You need to know exactly what you're dealing with. You need to know exactly what this is about. You see, most people always avoid this step because it's scary. Listen, drop everything. Drop every single thing that has made you feel ashamed. I don't care, probably you made a bad decision in your business, you made a mistake or something. Be honest with yourself and take a pen and a paper and write down every single debt you have to the last penny. Write down the name, whether it's a company, whether it's a friend, and write down the balance. Write down the interest rate, write down the minimum payment. That's it. This is not a video to judge us. This is a time for you to be honest with where you are right now. And so when you see everything that has been laid out in front of you, two things will usually happen. First, it's often less terrifying. The story you've been telling you and all of that stuff, probably the calls have been coming in, you discover that it becomes less terrifying and it's now numbers. So that alone is enough to make stop you from feeling overwhelmed. So I want you to pause this video right now because this is going to be something practical. Go and do that. Write down every single thing, whether you're owing your friends, your family, you're owing the bank, you're owing your mortgage, you are behind, you cannot meet up with your bill payment. Write every single thing down. That's exactly what I have done. Now, write every single thing down. And I'm going to talk about the spiritual side of it. Before I go into the practical side of it, I want to talk about the spiritual side of it. Because before I talk about strategy, let's talk about what the devil does. You see, when you are in debt, one of the things the devil comes with is what I call financial shame. And people do not understand the impact of financial shame because it's one of the things that's going to stop you from moving forward. So the enemy comes with condemnation. The enemy comes with guilt. The enemy comes with making this thing look like a molehill that you cannot be able to get over anymore. And so the first thing is, after you've written that thing down, we're going to do a spiritual exercise. And the Bible says that when the widow said that her husband was owing, and he said, what do you have in your house? Before that, I want you to look at what is on ground right now and tell yourself, there is therefore now no condemnation. I might have made a mistake. I might have made a bad investment decision. My marriage ended. I couldn't meet up anymore as a single mother. I was careless about my finances. Be honest with yourself. If you lie to yourself, nobody can help you. I cannot help you. Be honest with yourself. But this is completely going to be wiped off to the last penny. Tell yourself there is no condemnation. Satan, you have no power to condemn me on this. Yes, I might have made mistake. Yes, I might have done things I'm not supposed to do. I realize my mistake. But from here onward, there is hope for a tree that if it be cut down at the scent of water, at the word of the Lord, it would sprout again. So it doesn't matter how down you have become. It doesn't matter how much it is. Take it from somebody that is in this situation right now. Look at it. List every single thing. Every morning, wake up, look at that list and say if it's very long, fine, you can just round it off. If it's something you can pronounce it, you are completely paid off. Keep speaking it. Now we've gone to the spiritual side of it. We're going to go into the practical side of things now. After you've been speaking it, Jesus Christ said, if you have faith as little as the mustard seed and you speak unto this mountain, that depth right now look like a mountain, and you're going to speak to it every single day till it's completely cleared off. Now, the practical side of it, you're going to pick one. There are two approaches when it comes to debt payoff. You don't have to invent something new. You just have to pick one and stay with it till it's complete. The first one is what is popularly called the debt snowball method. Now, this method, you pay off the smallest balance first, and regardless of the interest rate. So the little one, let's say you have 10,000, 20,000, and then you have one of $100. Once that is gone, then you roll the payment into the next smallest one. Now, the psychological win behind eliminating the debt is enough to keep you motivated. You will discover that gradually that thing you look at something high, it's gradually reducing. So this one is best if you are somebody who needs to see progress to be able to stay motivated. It's not perfect, but there's power in momentum. You see, that little win. Today you paid off this credit card. Tomorrow you paid off your car loan. Like that little win. Forget about the one that's very high right now. Start with the little win, and then you gradually build up from there. So what is called the snowball method towards that. So the second method I want to talk about is what I call the debt avalanche method. So while the snowball method says that you have to pay off your debt slowly, starting from the small one, the avalanche is the opposite. So basically it's saying that you have to pay up the highest one, especially the one with the highest interest rate debt first, regardless of the balance size. So basically usually something like credit cards that usually have ridiculously high interest rate, or maybe these payday loans that have very high interest rate. It pays off if you are data driven and you're motivated by optimization, not just quick wins. You want to save more money in the long run. So it's much more better you pay off the one with the highest interest rate, because that one ends up becoming a whole lot of money if you don't pay it off on time. The best method, someone's going to ask me, Joy, what's the best method? It's the one you actually stick to. The most important thing when it comes to debt management is that usually it's your commitment to it, right? For most women I speak to, they start with the snowball method. They start gradually, because sometimes just having that little win is all you need to be able to get started. Now, someone is saying to me, Joy, yes, pay off the one with the highest balance or pay off the small one. I still have to pay off some money. How do I be able to do this? My job, after I remove my expenses, I cannot be able to meet up with expenses. I can't meet up with even paying an extra balance to my credit card or my debt. How do I do this? Now, typically, someone is going to say, go get a side job, do Uber Eats. How do you pay off your debt without having to go through unnecessary side hustle? I'm going to let you know. Now, this is where I'm going to push back on the conventional advice that your financial gurus have said to you. You do not need to get a second job to pay off debt. Esther, did you just say that? Yes, I just did. Now, what you need to do is two things. You need to be able to find money that you're already spending unconsciously. Number two, you need to be able to find what you already have. And I'm going to explain the two in just a bit. First of all, find money that you are spending unconsciously. Go to your last 30 days of transactions. Sometimes we do not even know that we spend all of this money that we do not need. Highlight everything that is not a need. There's a difference between a need and a want. So you begin to go to your bank right now, call your bank, or if you can go to your banking app, download your last 3 months statement. You will see that you can find that extra $100 to $500 without even having to make a major lifestyle change, without having to go through the side hustle of doing Uber Eats and all the rest. So look at those subscriptions that you forgot to cancel, those insurance rates, those things you subscribe for, you have no ideas, your phone plan, your interest rate, insurance rate for your car that you have not negotiated. Sometimes most creditors are willing to even lower your rates if you simply ask. So before I go into what you have, optimize what you already have. Cut down on all those unnecessary things. I'm not talking about coffee and all the rest. I'm talking about things that you unconsciously go and get your bank statement. Most people do not look at their bank statement. Most of you do not look at your bank statement, and that's a very bad financial thing to do. Look at your bank statement. Go through every single thing, one after the other. And so look at you, it's got that extra $100, $200 without having to go to an extra side hustle or selling on Facebook Marketplace or all the rest. Look at all of those things right now. Second thing, aside from looking at your statement, optimizing what you have, look at things you do not need anymore in the house. Ladies, can we talk? Sometimes those bags, those shoes, you've not worn them in ages. Go ahead and sell them. Do a yard sale. You might be able to get little things here and there. It might not be much, but there's something my mom always taught me, is that little drops of water what makes a mighty ocean. She always says it in a way, you don't have to wait. Because we grew up in a house where my dad always wanted to wait till everything was all perfect. You don't have to wait till everything is all perfect. That little thing, start getting there. Before you do it for 1 year, you'll be surprised and you'll be shocked. I'm not saying you should give up your lifestyle. I'm saying those things you do not need anymore. Well, there was a time I was really stuck on paying my electricity bill. I didn't know what to do. I looked around. I discovered that I had my bag, I had to say, and then I was about leaving that particular house. I sold my bed and I used that to be able to pay off the bills I was owing for my hydro bill. So look at what you have around. You have something that you can be able to sell. Based on Facebook Marketplace, there are other marketplaces you can post those things and sell. You'll be able to get that $100 or $200 here and there. So the major thing I want to tell you is optimize what you currently have. Other thing is to look at what you have in the house. So the Bible says that the prophet told the widow, what do you have in the house? I said, I have nothing but a jar of oil. There's something I've learned about God. God will never leave you empty. At the point where I was in my life where I was completely down to zero, nothing was working, business wasn't working. I got clients that were really messing up with my payment, and I felt like there was nothing more I could do. I lost money and everything. God will never leave you stranded. There's something you can do. You might have to come on camera like me and talk. You might not necessarily have to come on camera like me and do content creation, but there's something God has blessed you with. Some of you can be able to cook. Some of you can be able to write. Some of you can be able to take care of children. Something. God doesn't leave you empty. So I want you to write down, what is it that I can be able to do? And how can I be able to turn what I have into monetary value? I'm not going to tell you that on this video. If you can go to ChatGPT and put in ChatGPT, hey ChatGPT, I can cook. How can I be able to turn my passion and into a money-making scheme? It's not going to be immediate. This is a much more long-term game, but in the long run, it's going to help you. You're building something, you're building an asset, you're building a brand that will eventually help you pay off your debt. So ChatGPT, I'm going to, how can I be able to monetize? Give me a 90-day monetization plan. For some of you, you might need to put yourself out there. For some of you, you might need to go ahead and get consulting gigs for people. Do freelancing, writing. It doesn't really matter, but there is something that you can be able to do. God does not leave you empty. You have a jar of oil in your house. Now, I'm going to go into talking about the feminine approach to debt payoff. Now, usually the toxic hustle culture, we say something like payoff, meaning that you have to restrict yourself from everything. No, I'm not saying you restrict yourself from everything. Work extra hours, get a second job, feel guilty for purchasing everything, burn out, and then give up. The version I want you to see instead is set something reasonable. That's why I say sometimes the snowball method might actually work for you. Set something reasonable. Automate it so you don't have to think about it. Alright? Build it small. If you are going to do something, maybe do a business or by side, you have something in your hand that you can be able to build. It's not going to happen overnight. It might even take 3-6 months before you're seeing any form of traction. Do not put any pressure on you. Debt payoff is not a sprint. It's a marathon. That's why it's important that you document little wins. Do not overestimate what you can be able to do in 2-3 years and do not underestimate to say what you can be able to do in 2-3 years and begin to overestimate and trying to put yourself under pressure. I have to pay off the debt in 3 months. No, start gradually. It's important that in this debt payoff process, protect your energy, protect your peace. I'm still in the process, so I'm not talking to you as someone who is completely 100% debt free. No, I'm still in the process. I'm doing it step by step, month by month. The money will follow the consistency. Protect your energy, protect your peace. And one of the ways to stay motivated in this journey is to stop checking your balance. For me, to be honest with you, I stopped checking the emails. Those collection emails, those collection calls, I don't check it. I look at it, pass off. Because sometimes it does something to your brain. Okay? Sometimes I get messages when I was owing people, angry messages, and they tell you this or that. I do not look at it. Your goal, just look forward. You are on the journey to pay off this debt, and that is what you should focus on. Stop checking everything. Checking your balance every day is like trying to watch a mango tree go overnight or trying to watch grass grow. It's just going to make you more anxious, make you feel like you're not doing anything. It's like going to the gym and you expect that next day you should lose weight. No, be consistent. As long as you're consistent, I assure you that mountain hill will eventually fall down. So once in a month, sit down, acknowledge your numbers, state this is where I am right now, then this is where I need to be, close the app, track your win, adjust your balance. If there's anything you need to adjust, if there's anything you need to do every day, just every month, just gradual process. And more importantly, always remind yourself of your why. And your why is not saying, I just want to be debt free. That's very vague. Why do you want to be debt free? What does debt free life look like? For me, I just want to wake up without having to think. I was telling my friend, I was saying, I miss when life was simple. I probably had just a phone bill to pay, just my regular monthly spending on my credit card. But then life happened. My dad got sick. I spent a lot of money, got into debt, and I was in a whole lot of mess. So always ask yourself, why do I want to be debt free? I want to be debt free because, for example, I want to be debt free because I want to finally be able to save for that house, save for that car, give my children the life that they actually deserve. I want to be debt free because I just want that freedom, that thing of not having to be burdened by collection calls or by debt collectors anymore. So that your why is going to keep you going in days when it's going to be hard, because there will be days when things might be really hard. So I want you to write down your why, write down the vision, make it plain. What will you do with the money once it's no longer going into debt? What investment are you going to do? What things are you going to do? I want you to write it down, make the vision plain. Alright? So be honest. Like I said at the beginning of the video, be honest with where you are. Take the spiritual side of things and do not let the enemy put you into the financial shame, because once you are deep in the financial shame, that's the major reason why people do not come out of debt. Step 2, I did say, choose either the snowball method or the avalanche method. And the other step, I said, find the money that you're going to use to pay off the debt. And aside from probably your regular 9 to 5 job, or if you have a business you're doing, find money that you spend subconsciously and unconsciously, and also look at what you already have. There is an oil in your house. There is a jar of oil that God has given you. Nobody is left empty, but most times it doesn't look like it, and so we discard it. Pick up that jar of oil. Go and pick up that thing that you discarded, and right now go and ask AI how to be able to monetize it. Okay, and then I said stop punishing yourself. Stop constantly checking it. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. I said celebrate little wins, protect your energy. That's it. No second job required, no having to put yourself under unnecessary pressure, no suffering, just consistency and strategy. Little wins. Don't try to rush it within the next 1 month. Stretch it. At least next 1 year, I want to be debt free. Next 2 years, I want to be debt free. Now, if this was helpful for you and you know someone that needs this, please go ahead and share this video with as many persons as possible. I want you to let me know what is your biggest challenge with debt right now. Let's talk about it. I'll be in the comment section, and I'm going to see you guys in the next video. For now,